Hey, how's it going? My name is Safe, and I just got a comment on my YouTube channel on a reaction video that I did. I believe it was on a reaction video I did on Biakai's video talking about why we miss Smite 1. And they had told me in this comment that I should list why I love Smite 2 so much, because I was talking about how I like Smite 2 better than I like Smite 1, and they were saying that nobody really makes a video on that. And I thought that was a pretty great idea. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to alienate the community any more than it already is. It probably would help me if I did that, because it seems like anytime I give my opinion, it makes the videos do way better. Look at the tier list video where people are telling me that I am the worst human being that's ever lived because I don't want Arachne into the game. I decided that I would rather talk about why I love Smite as a whole. This goes from Smite 1 to Smite 2, just Smite as a game, like why I love this game and why I've decided to put 8,000, 10,000, 15,000 hours, countless of hours into the game. I do have like about 6,000 hours, 7,000 hours, something like that, but you know what I mean. And in thinking of this topic, I listed off 5 things that I really love about Smite and why I keep coming back to Smite so many years later. I've been playing for 10 years. And the first thing, the thing that drew me into Smite was the Pantheon aspect of it. I've always had like this strange affinity for different beliefs in gods and the history of what people thought about the world and how they thought things happened. And I've always thought that that stuff was really interesting. And having a game that just has 100 gods that you can play as, and they're all like, they all kind of had their own lore, and you can look into it, like, because of Smite. I've read a lot about these gods I've never even heard about, and it's just super interesting, and it's really fun. It was a huge draw into why I wanted to play the game. Another reason why I wanted to play the game early on, and this is my second important part of why I love Smite, is how unique it is. For the first long while that I was playing Smite, I didn't even think about the fact that it was a MOBA. I mean, I played like Joust and Siege and Clash with my friends. Like, I didn't really think that it was a MOBA. It's 3D and it has a quadrillion different characters that you can play and a bunch of items, and I didn't know what any of them did, and I just picked whichever ones I wanted. The types of games that you get are so unique. Everything was constantly changing in Smite, and it still is that way. There is no game that scratches the same itch that Smite does for me. And I don't think there ever will be. I think that kind of is like the MOBA curse thing, where you find a MOBA, the first one you play is basically the only one you can really play. I've tried playing League, I've tried playing Dota, I've played a bit of Predecessor, I've even tried playing that new Deadlock. None of them hit for me. I play games because I'm a competitive guy, so I don't care if I like the game or not, I will still play it, and that kind of leads true with those games too, just because I am a competitive guy and want to be good. So I played them anyways, but it just never hit the same. But that kind of leads me into my third reason why I love Smite so much, and that's the competitive aspect. I am a competitive player first. I'm not a professional, obviously. I'm Masters level ranked player, but I come from a background of competitive games. I was a competitive Super Smash Bros. Ultimate player, a competitive Brawlout player. You've never heard of that game, but I was very good at that game, and the only time where competitive history of that game actually mattered, and I would love to talk about it. I was a competitive Rivals of Aether player. If you know what that game is, it's the greatest fighting game of all time. I've even played competitively in other games like Guilty Gear Strive, other fighting games, Dragon Ball FighterZ, My Heroes One's Justice. That game is pretty lame, but I was like #1 on the leaderboards at one point in time, like 5 to 8 years ago. For my character, I don't think I ever made it to the top of the leaderboard overall. And if I ever pick up a new game, I'm always jumping into ranked as soon as possible. I was Diamond in Paladins, if that means anything to anybody. It was so easy. That game was awesome, though. Bring it back, please. Hi-Rez, please bring it back. I hate Overwatch and Paladins, but at least Paladins was just baby mode easy. Like, everybody sucked, so I just could grind for free. And that was something that I really loved about Smite, is there is a ranked mode, and I'm so hooked on it. I've always wanted to be a good Smite player. You know, playing the game when I was younger, you know, 16, 17 years old, I was thinking to myself, like, yo, if I ever hit Masters, like, that'll be the best day of my life. Because I was playing Smite all the time back then. And that didn't read true. I did finally hit Masters, and it was a very cathartic experience, but it just fueled the fire more. I've never really felt that way about a competitive game. Usually how it goes is I have a goal for myself with those games, and I hit it, and I'm like, okay, time to move on to the next thing. Smite is the only competitive game where the next thing was getting better at Smite. In Smash Brothers Ultimate, I wanted to win the tournament. Then I won a tournament. Then I was like, okay, let me get top 8 at like a regional event, a regional size event, and then go to a couple major events and like make it out of pools. I did all that and had some of the best experiences of my life, but there was no drive to keep playing the game. But with Smite, I wanted to keep playing, and I wanted to keep better and keep getting better. And there's no other game that's done that for me. For my fourth thing that I love about Smite, this is kind of the least important thing, because I also think it's the weakest point, is player expression. There's less player expression in Smite than any fighting games that I had played in the past. And I think that's kind of just because it's a MOBA. But there are a lot of different gods, a lot of different ways to play those gods, a lot of different builds. And, you know, like maybe your top higher level players will tell you just copy builds. I'll tell you that too. But it does get really fun once you're kind of good enough to have fun with builds and do your own thing and experiment. It becomes really fun. And if you're like a guy that plays Assault and Arena and Joust and you just have fun, like that's a whole different experience. And just being able to express yourself and do what you want to do in Smite, like there's so many options. It makes for an infinitely fun experience. And my fifth and final most important thing that I love about Smite, Smite 1, Smite 2, doesn't matter. I love both games so much. It's the community. And I know that that is going to ruffle some feathers because we have a community, that's for sure. We have an interesting one. But I love the Smite community. If it wasn't for Smite, I would not have the friends that I have now. I met one of my best friends from playing Smite. And from playing Smite, I got so much closer with people that I'd already been friends with. My story going into Smite was that I used to play Black Ops 3 with a friend, and I didn't really like Black Ops 3 that much. So I saw he was on a game called Smite with a couple of his friends, and I was like, oh, that's a free game. I'll download that and play it. And we played it. And we never looked back. We just kept playing it. And I grew so much closer with him and my other friends, and I met so many awesome people. And if it wasn't for Smite, I wouldn't be making videos or streaming as much. Like, it really gave me a direction that I wanted to push myself towards because of how many awesome people I've met through this game. And sure, you'll have games where you're playing a ranked game and somebody calls you a slur you haven't heard, or like tells you to hang yourself and that you drank from a straw and your mom's a whore and fucking, yeah, all that shit. But that's in every game. And if you can just look past that, we have a beautiful community of people that really care about the game and care about content creators and care about everything that goes into what makes the future of this game. And those are really the 5 big points of why I love Smite. Smite 1, Smite 2, it doesn't matter. If you love Smite 1 more than Smite 2, play some more Smite 2. If you love Smite 2 more than Smite 1, welcome aboard, and let's keep the game going and hope that we have a fun ride ahead. My name is Safe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Keep playing Smite. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell me what I should do next. Stay safe. I'll catch you guys later.